All right, y'all, we're jumping back on this. I haven't done much since the last video. I did get the rack put in. I still got to weld everything in there, but it's a two-piece. I haven't got the baffle in yet. But it don't slide out or anything. The tank's only 16 inches wide. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna miss anything in the back there. But what I'm doing right now, I mentioned the wheels. You can see it's not, the weight's fine. It's not gonna really tip, especially by the time I put the table and everything else over here. But the box is so narrow, the stand is so narrow that I wanna go ahead and widen it out. And what I'm doing is this here. I know it's overkill. It's just gonna be a new wheel mount. I'm gonna move them back. That way it'll move the back wheel back about 6.5 inches. And that ought to be plenty. But I'm cutting that out there. You can kind of see it, there it is. And like I say, I know it's overkill, but a lot of the stuff on here is already overkill, so might as well keep going. So we'll get that cut out and get those put together. All right, I was trying to get these wheel mounts put on and the power went out. So it looks like there's more light in here than there actually is. But what I got right here, I can do something with the cordless grinder. On the top of my pipe, I want to try to put this on there. This came off of an old kerosene lantern. Well, it really ain't that old. I think they still make these. But this is quite a bit bigger. This pipe is 4-inch, and this is about 6.5 around. So I want it to go something like that, but I need to make a cone shape. So what I'm gonna do, I think I've got it drawn out right here. And this is some thin, I think that's 22 gauge possibly. It's thin, but I think I got that drawn out right. And if you're wondering how I done it, that right there is how I figured out the measurements on it. If you know what that is, then you probably have an idea of what I'm talking about. Other than that, it just looks like a triangle. But if you want to know how I did that, I can do a video on that. So we're gonna try to go from 4-inch to about 6.5 so I can put that on. This little cordless grinder from CC came in real handy right now. The power wasn't out that long, 4 or 5 hours, but it kept me moving for a little while. The method I use on these cones to figure out the measurements, it's really not an accurate kind of way to do it. It gets you real close. The top side was a little bit shy of 6.5, probably about 6 3/8. All right, it came out a little under, but I still haven't really got it end round. It's still a little egg-shaped. But I think that'll get us there. Once I get some power back on it, I can tack it together and kind of move it around a little bit. Yeah, I think this will tack to the pipe. The other part will just sit on top of it. But anyway, let's move on to something else. See what I can do while the power's out. Here I'm getting the side table going. I had these lines scored already. I'm just getting it bent up. I'll do the cutouts into it later on. Alright, and I went ahead and got that piece put on. It worked out pretty good. I wish I would have had a piece of stainless, and I looked later on and I do have an old stainless shelf that I probably could have used for that piece, that cone. But it worked out pretty good on the inside of the exhaust. I put a little lip where this cone actually slides up and down off of it. And then a little small lip around the top to try to keep the round, because I couldn't get it out of egg shaped. And then the cap just sits on there. This is the firebox door frame. It has flames on it and then a couple circles cut out where the vents go. That cap on the exhaust is really just a test, you know. I had never done that before. I've been holding that thing for a few years, intending to do it. But I didn't put a baffle in the exhaust. So the only baffle is the vents on the firebox. Which really I think will be enough, because you can still crack that firebox door if you want to get it going hotter. This will sit on top of the door. That way I can paint it a different color. I kind of went with my same regular hinges instead of doing more on there, just because of the way it's made. I would have had to weld to one part and not to the other part. It was going to be funny, so I just used the regular ones. And then this is the side table that I was bending a while ago. It'll have this spider web cut in it. This cut was actually a lot longer than I anticipated. That table was moving all over the place. I can't say if it would have been smarter to cut it before I bent those edges or after. I thought it would hold it stiffer, but it sure moved a lot. I put a small piece of angle on the bottom when I got done to help flatten it back out. And it just took a little moving to get it on there right. We'll get the table tacked on, get that door put on the firebox. I actually had some more cutouts I was trying to do for this end, and it just didn't work out. I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do, to flatten out against the side of it. So I finally left that idea alone. I spent way too much time on it. But that's about it for right now. I'm going to do a test cook on it. There's still a few more things that I know I'm going to do to it. I'm trying out that temp gauge in the end. I actually got a different temp gauge coming. I'm going to try it out down there, see what it does. These stars on the firebox, they have a little nail end on it. They're just stuck in a hole right now. After painting everything, I'll probably paint them a different color and then try to reach in and tack it on the inside. Getting some coals put in it to heat it up. Get it seasoned on the inside. I'm going to put a rack of ribs on there. I seasoned those ribs up with some Famous Dave's. I hadn't tried it before. It's new to me. This firebox top is actually double plated on the inside, but it's still getting pretty hot. It's a second plate about a ½ inch from the top, so it's got a little air gap in it, but it still gets pretty hot. That's a little piece of cherry wood I'm putting in there, try to get some flavor in it. Sometimes it don't take much of that cherry, and sometimes it takes a little more. That wood's pretty old now. But you can see it smoking there, and that's that wood that's smoking so hard. If you crack that firebox door, you can cut that smoke out pretty quick. The door's leaking a little. I didn't put a gasket on it. I'm not sure if I am yet. These thinner tanks can be tricky to put a gasket on. I was watching that gauge right there, and I was happy because I was holding it between 250 and like 253 for an hour. And I mean, with the vent set like this right here, and then finally after I opened the door, I realized it really isn't 250 in the center. It's 250 in that corner. So I was cooking a lot slower than I realized. And when you put your hand in there, you can feel that it's hotter in that corner where the heat's coming up. So I'm definitely going to have to move the gauge over to get a more accurate reading. But they've been in there a couple hours. I'm wrapping now. It's going to be another hour or so. I'll usually check 45 minutes to an hour. Sometimes it takes a little longer, but that's usually long enough. Pulling them on out and they're looking pretty good. I like to put them back in and sauce them. Leave them maybe 15-20 minutes, something like that. They started tearing on me, I almost lost them. This sauce I'm using is redneck lipstick. Man, it's a really good sauce. You can get it at most of the super Walmarts. I'm liking it quite a bit. Sweet Baby Ray's is usually my go-to, but I'm liking that right now. I came prepared with 2 pairs of tongs, but I ended up not needing them. And that'll do it right there. Alright y'all, I'll let them rest for a little while. Let's see what we got. They sure enough smell good. Out of there. That's good eating. I wish I'd have put some more of that cherry in there. It got it a little bit, but it didn't get a whole lot of it. This is good ribs to put some light bread on. Make sandwiches. Yeah, the smoking did good. One thing I know I'm going to change, I'm going to move that gauge from right there, put it over here. It's hotter right here on this side, I found out, where the heat's coming up. So it's reading hotter than what it actually is in the center. So I'm going to move it over. That was kind of a test idea anyway. I almost put it right there in the center. I'm glad I didn't. I'm still not sure I'm gonna put a gasket on the door. I may not. We'll get another couple cooks before.